Have you ever wondered how the world changed after the end of the Cold War? The Cold War marked a period of intense rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union, a tension that spanned decades. The end of this era came about with the help of strategic diplomatic moves, one of them being President Richard Nixon's ambitious policy of détente. Nixon's administration worked tirelessly to improve relations with both China and the Soviet Union, marking a significant shift in international politics. As we navigate through the labyrinth of history, we find ourselves in the Middle East, a region that has been a focal point of U.S. foreign policy for decades. The Camp David Accords in 1977, for instance, were a monumental achievement. These peace treaties, brokered by President Jimmy Carter between Egypt and Israel, were a testament to the power of diplomacy. However, the region was fraught with conflict and tension. The Iran hostage crisis in 1979 was a grim reminder of the volatile political landscape. 52 American diplomats and citizens were held hostage for 444 days, an event that underscored the complexities of U.S. involvement in the Middle East. In the mid-80s, the Iran-Contra affair added another layer of controversy. This scandal involved secret U.S. arms sales to Iran, with the proceeds being used to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua. The Gulf War, too, was a stark demonstration of U.S. involvement in the region. Sparked by Iraq's invasion of Kuwait, this conflict saw a U.S.-led coalition respond with force, marking a significant escalation in the Middle East's geopolitical struggles. Let's not forget the OPEC oil embargo of 1973. This strategic move by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries drastically affected global oil prices, leading to an energy crisis in the U.S. and shaping the country's future energy policies. In sum, the end of the Cold War and U.S. involvement in the Middle East have left indelible marks on the global stage. These historical events filled with intrigue and power plays have shaped the world we live in today, influencing our present and undoubtedly our future. The end of the Cold War and U.S. involvement in the Middle East have shaped the world we live in today. Trade policies have played a significant role in shaping our modern world. One such policy is the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, which was designed to foster economic growth by eliminating barriers to trade and investment between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. This agreement has had a profound impact on the economies of these nations, boosting trade and creating a more integrated North American economy. Another critical trade policy is the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, or GATT, which paved the way for the establishment of the World Trade Organization, or WTO. This global body has been instrumental in overseeing international trade rules and resolving disputes, thereby facilitating smoother global trade. These policies, NAFTA and GATT, now WTO, have shaped the course of globalization, transforming economies and societies, and enabling a more interconnected world. Trade policies have greatly influenced the economic landscape of the world. Migration patterns within the U.S. have been influenced by various factors, including economic opportunities and political leadership. One of the significant shifts in American demographics was the decline of the Rust Belt in the 70s and 80s. This region, once a powerhouse of manufacturing and industry, saw a sharp decline as factories closed and jobs disappeared. In contrast, the Sun Belt, stretching across the south and west of the country, experienced a boom as people migrated in search of job opportunities in emerging sectors such as technology and services. Let's shift gears and look at the presidencies during this period. Ronald Reagan, who served in the 80s, is known for his domestic policy of Reaganomics, which focused on tax cuts, deregulation, and a reduction in government spending. His foreign policy saw an increase in military spending and a firm stance against the Soviet Union. Noteworthy milestones from his tenure include Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign against drug abuse and the appointment of Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman on the Supreme Court. George H.W. Bush, who served from 1989 to 93, faced significant challenges both domestically and internationally. The end of the Cold War and the Gulf War marked his foreign affairs, while a recession and raised taxes characterized his domestic term. His administration also saw the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Immigration Act of 1990. Finally, we come to Bill Clinton, who served from 1993 to 2001. His domestic policy included the Medicare reform, the Family Medical Leave Act, and the Brady Bill. Despite an economic turnaround during his term, Clinton's presidency was marked by impeachment. In terms of foreign affairs, Clinton faced overseas terrorist attacks and deployed troops in Somalia and Bosnia. The leadership of these presidents and migration trends have significantly shaped the United States. As we move forward, it's essential to understand these historical patterns and policies to better comprehend our nation's current landscape.